So, what if the life you're living right now, every single high, every low, isn't actually for you? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating way of looking at things that completely redefines the whole relationship between your spirit and your body and what that might mean for your purpose here on Earth. Let's just start with this kind of a wild question. Are your day-to-day experiences, the traffic jams, the little joys, the arguments, are they really yours? Or is your life maybe more of a data gathering mission for something else entirely? We're going to unpack that exact idea. Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll look at this fundamental split between the spirit and the body. Then we're going to get into this idea of an autonomous psychic platform. Sounds complicated, but it's not. After that, we'll see how the unconscious acts as a translator, what happens when the spirit starts demanding more, and finally, how we can maybe bring these two parts of ourselves back into alignment. All right, first up. This whole section really sets the stage. The thinking here is that our journey through life isn't just random chaos. Nope. It actually starts with a very specific pre-planned intention. But that plan immediately smacks right into the messy, unpredictable reality of being alive. So the core idea is that before we even get here, our spirit basically drafts a curriculum. But it's not about achieving specific goals like becoming a lawyer or a painter. It's about gathering certain types of knowledge, things you can only get through experience. The feeling of resilience, a deep understanding of compassion, the wisdom that only comes from loss. And this is where the main conflict really comes into focus. On one hand, you've got the spirit with its pure, pre-life plan. And on the other hand, you've got the body, which this framework describes as a totally separate, autonomous system. Its personality, its reactions, they aren't shaped by the spirit. They're shaped by everything on the outside. Your family, your culture, your environment. It's basically running on autopilot. Okay, let's keep building on that. If the body is operating all on its own, then what exactly is it? This concept of a psychic platform is absolutely key to understanding its role in all this. So this psychic platform, or piattaforma psíquica in the original source, it's basically the whole package. It's the biology, the brain, and the entire mental and emotional setup. And the most crucial part to grasp is its autonomy. It develops its own habits, its own fears, its own desires, all based on conditioning, and it pretty much operates independently of what the spirit originally wanted to do. I mean, what a powerful way to see it, right? The body isn't the star of the show. It's more like a highly advanced biological antenna designed to be here on Earth just collecting data from experiences. It's the vehicle, it's the tool, but it is not the driver. Okay, so if the body is just this antenna scooping up all this raw data, how does the spirit, the real you, actually get the information it came here for? Well, that's where this really essential translation process comes into play. I mean, really think about it for a second. Does your spirit actually care that you're stuck in traffic today? Or what you decided to have for lunch? Or the nitty-gritty details of some argument? This framework says, nope, not even a little bit. It's after something much, much deeper. And this really gets to the heart of it. The spirit doesn't want the raw data file of what happened. It wants what the source calls the juice of the experience. It's not the story itself that matters. It's the lesson, the symbolic meaning, the value that can be squeezed out of that story. And this is where the inconscio, the unconscious, steps in. But, and this is important, not in the way you might be thinking, like Freud. In this context, the unconscious is a specific tool. It's a bridge. Its only job is to take the messy, real-world events of your life, digest them, and translate them into pure, symbolic information that the spirit can finally use as knowledge. So the whole process basically flows like this. Something happens out in the world, your body and your mind, that's a psychic platform, they perceive it. Then that invisible bridge, the unconscious, it gets to work. It strips away all the unnecessary details and converts the whole experience into a pure signal of value, which then gets beamed over to the spirit. So that all sounds like a pretty neat system. But what happens when that flow of information gets jammed up? What if the antenna isn't picking up the right signals, or the translator isn't sending the kind of messages the spirit really needs? Well, the source describes the spirit as having an appetite. It came here to be fed certain types of experiential knowledge. So if life gets too routine, too predictable, or just too far off from its original plan, the spirit starts to get starved. And what happens when the spirit is hungry? It doesn't just sit back and hope for the best. No, it actively starts to apply pressure on the unconscious. And this pressure is basically a trigger to create new situations in your life, to shake things up and generate the kind of data it's missing. So, have you ever felt like your life was just suddenly turned completely upside down? A sudden job loss, an unexpected move, a relationship ending that you didn't see coming? From this point of view, these might not be random acts of fate at all. They could actually be your own spirit pushing the buttons on the system, creating the exact experiences it needs to check off its list. Which brings us to the final and, let's be honest, probably the most practical part of all this. Knowing this, what are we supposed to do? How can we make this whole process a little less chaotic and a little more harmonious? This right here is the most important message to really let sink in. We spend our whole lives identifying with our bodies, our thoughts, our personalities, the psychic platform. But this framework insists that we've got it all backward. Our true identity? That's the spirit. The body is just the temporary car we're driving. The spirit is who you really are. So the way forward, then, is to become an active participant in all this. We don't have to just wait around for the spirit to apply pressure and create chaos. By consciously taking a moment to reflect on our lives and asking, okay, what's the deeper meaning here? We're actually doing the work of the unconscious ourselves. We are actively and intentionally feeding our own spirit. And the choice here really creates a stark contrast, doesn't it? If we live unconsciously, just kind of sleepwalking through life, we risk all sorts of disruption and turmoil as our spirit tries to get what it needs. But when we choose to live consciously, something really beautiful can happen. The spirit gets nourished with the food it came for, and the body, our psychic platform, gets to have a much more peaceful and harmonious ride. So at the end of the day, this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea, it's actually presented as a practical roadmap. By understanding this dynamic, we can start to align our daily lives with our spirit's deeper purpose, and that can lead to a life that feels way less chaotic and way more fulfilling. And that really leaves us with one final thought to take with you. Looking at your life right now, what's one small way you could consciously process an experience today? What deeper meaning might be hiding in something that happened, whether it was a challenge or a joy? How can you, right now, begin to feed your spirit?